Hey guys, welcome to Jaxbeautifulyou. Today's video, we are going to be testing out some fragrances. So I've actually already tested all these fragrances out, tested all of them on skin, had some time to play around with a lot of these perfumes that I've been super curious about. Some of these are really hyped up, and so I needed to know for myself if I actually thought these fragrances were full bottle worthy. Do I want to spend my hard-earned money on these fragrances or not? And of course, this is an interactive video. I want to hear from you too. If you've tried any of these fragrances, let me know what you think in the comment section as well. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. Thank you so much for clicking on my thumbnail today. I really appreciate you being here. And to my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much for all your continued support. Without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright, so I'm just going to scooch over here so I can put some pictures up on the screen. Alright, the first one is one I know you guys have been asking me about and you're really wanting to know, so let's do that one first. This is by the House of Narcotica Happy Dust. So I saw that this was being released. Narcotica posted on their Instagram and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have this because there are 3 different vanillas. There's vanilla in the opening, in the mid, and in the dry down of this perfume, and I am a vanilla lover. Now there were a couple of notes in here that kind of made me pause because there's mango in here. Mango's kind of hit and miss for me. Sometimes I like it and sometimes I don't. And then there's matcha tea. Sometimes I struggle with tea notes and sometimes I struggle with green notes. But the 3 vanillas, that's what got me. I'm like, okay, it's got 3 vanillas. It's got like brown sugar and all kinds of deliciousness in here. So I just had a feeling that I was going to like this fragrance. And I've had this for, it was released on December 7th. I've been wearing it for a little over a week now because I really wanted to get my thoughts on the fragrance before I came to you and talked to you guys about it. And I absolutely love the way this fragrance smells. So I do get some of that mango. I also get some coconut water. There's coconut water in here, and so there's a tiny touch of this like tropical feel to the fragrance. And then there's some greenness in here, but the greenness isn't like a sharp, harsh green. It's matcha. It's like that smooth, creamy matcha tea kind of vibe in here. The vanilla really is the star of the show in here. It's primarily what I smell. And the other notes like the mango, the matcha tea, and coconut water, things like that, they're there. You can smell them, but they're in the background. There's a white musk note in here that really does start to come forward in the dry down of this perfume for me. So if you're not a huge fan of musky notes, keep that in mind. But I do get this slightly tropical green, very vanilla forward, and then some muskiness that comes forward in the dry down. There's also sandalwood in here too, which I do pick up a little bit of in the dry down. But yeah, there's no denying that this perfume smells absolutely incredible. It smells fantastic. I love the way that it smells. However, the one thing that's kind of holding me back is the performance. I have learned this in the year of 2023. This was the year that I really learned the lesson that you cannot judge new formulas too soon when it comes to performance. And this is a house that I know once it sits, usually they get stronger. So for instance, when I first got Dulce Diablo, everybody was saying that it was this beast mode fragrance. And when I got mine, it wasn't beast mode. It was only moderate performing. And I remember being like, okay, this isn't beast mode, but now my Dulce Diablo is beast mode. And the same with Narco Oasis. When I first got it, it was just moderate. Now it's really strong. This one, however, didn't start off moderate. When I first got this fragrance, the first day I sprayed it and I could barely smell it. And I was kind of taken aback by that because it was uber light. And every few days now I've been taking it out. It is getting stronger. You know, actually that musk is starting to come forward now more than it did before. Like I get the musk even when I first spray it now. I do believe that this is a fragrance that will get to be moderate to strong performing because this is a vanilla perfume and vanilla just traditionally is a note that ages well, but I have no way to guarantee that. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that, oh yeah, it's going to get stronger. Just go ahead and buy it. You know what I mean? Because I don't know for sure. I think it'll follow along the same footsteps as Dulce Diablo and Narco Oasis, but as of right now, it's pretty light, but it is getting stronger. I'm going to put this on my tray for January and I'm going to wear it all throughout January, and then at the end when I do my recap, like in February, when I do my recap of January's tray, I'll let you know if this actually is an acceptable performing perfume in my opinion. Because as of right now, it's really not, to be honest, especially for the price. So I will keep you posted. And please let me know in the comment section if you've tried this fragrance. What is your experience with this? Can you smell this? Does this smell really strong to you? Because this is an extrait de parfum. And so I really am expecting it to perform like an extrait de parfum. And as of right now, that's not the case. So let me know in the comment section if you have a different experience or the same experience as me with this fragrance if you've tried it. So that is by Narcotica Happy Dust. All right, up next, I tried a few fragrances from the House of Mind Games. I told you guys I was really interested in this house, and I had a lovely subscriber send me some pretty decent sized decants. And the first one, the one that I thought I would absolutely love the most, is Queening. So she sent me this giant decant of Queening, and I was like, oh wow, that's awesome, because now I don't need a bottle, because I have pretty much the bottle. Super generous, and thank you very much, you know who you are. But yeah, I was super curious about Queening because it's gotten a lot of hype lately and lots of people say it's just absolutely amazing. I thought I was going to love it because it's more of a gourmand fragrance. So in the top you have Clean Cotton Accord, Cypress, Apple. Middle you have Orris, Rum, and Saffron, and then in the dry down you have Whipped Vanilla Bean, Fluffy Musk, and Coconut. I love all of those notes, but apparently I don't love a clean cotton note with my gourmands. I do think it smells nice. I don't think it smells bad by any means. I've worn this a couple of times and I do like it. I think it smells good. I can see why people like this fragrance. But I don't know, there's something about that clean cotton accord that's in here mixed with like saffron and rum, and I don't know, it just doesn't match. Like it doesn't mix in my mind. It's just not to my taste. I don't think it's a bad fragrance by any means, but I don't want to pay, I think this retails for like $375 and I don't want to pay that much for this fragrance. And also the other thing is that the performance is not that great. I mean, this is just a very light wearing perfume. And I know that not everybody wants super loud fragrances, but honestly, for $375, you need to last more than 3 to 4 hours, which is about all I got from this. I just personally don't think that it's worth the price. So Queening from Mind Games is a pass for me. All right, guys, up next, we have another one by Mind Games, and this is Leonora. And this fragrance I thought for sure was going to be one that I absolutely loved, and I do love it when I spray it on paper. I actually think this is a really, really good white floral fragrance with some really interesting fruits. So in the top, you have passion fruit, then you have tonka bean, and you have some ginger. Then there's some apricot skin, which I love apricots. And then there's some osmanthus and freesia. I love freesia in perfumes usually. And then there's sandalwood, and there's some musk in here, I believe, as well. Those are all notes that I really, really love. And like I said, when I spray this on paper, I absolutely love the way it smells. It is a gorgeous freesia, osmanthus, fruity. I love the passion fruit in here. It's very feminine, very white floral, very musky in the dry down. It's beautiful. But something horrible happens when I put it on my skin, and it goes from being this gorgeous, fruity, floral, feminine, musky, amazing fragrance to straight up bathroom air freshener. That's exactly what it smells like on my skin. It's pretty bad. I actually had to scrub it off. So honestly, I don't think this is a bad fragrance. I 100% think that this has more to do with my personal skin chemistry than it does the fragrance itself. I'd say if you like fruity florals, especially white florals like freesia, definitely check this out, but get a sample of it for sure. Don't blind buy this. Try to get a sample of it, because I think Mind Games has like discovery sets and stuff like that, so maybe check that out. But some skin chemistries it's not going to mix well with, because there was no denying when I put this on my skin that this was straight up just bathroom air freshener, like a gas station restroom air freshener. I had to scrub this off of me, and this one is definitely a pass for me. All right, the other one by Mind Games that I tried is called French Defense. If you can see this bottle, how much I've worn of this fragrance, because this is amazing. This is amazing. This perfume was love at first sniff. As soon as I sprayed this, I was like, This I love, okay? Now, this is a cherry fragrance, and honestly, when I saw that, I kind of rolled my eyes, like, kind of bored. I don't know. I know cherry had, like, a moment, and I still love cherry perfumes, but at this point, it's like, okay, how many cherry perfumes can we have? I wasn't sure that I was going to want another cherry, but this is not like other cherries that have come out recently. I know a lot of cherry fragrances get compared to Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. This is not the same type of cherry to my nose as that cherry. I do like Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, but this cherry is like a dark, rich, black cherry. I mean, it is absolutely fantastic and I love it. It is unique somehow. It's also got some rose in here as well. And then there's a lot of this ambery warmth to the fragrance. So in the base it says there's amber, cedarwood, and blonde wood. And that makes sense to me. I don't really know exactly what blonde wood smells like, but that makes sense because it smells like a light woodiness in the base. Don't think like mahogany or oud or any of those dark woody notes. This is a lighter, like blonde wood. I guess that's what I would picture. This is an expensive fragrance, but I absolutely love it. I have to have a bottle of this. Like, the more I keep smelling my arm, the more I'm like, yes, French Defense. I think I probably will break down and buy this. Now, the performance is better than Queening. I got probably about 5 hours out of this with a light to moderate scent bubble. It definitely is not a screamer, but I can smell it on me and I just love it so much. I really wish the performance was better, to be honest, but I don't care. That is by Mind Games French Defense. All right, up next we have from the house of Zaharoff. This is Arum, and this perfume is your honey bomb perfume. I honestly don't think I have ever smelled a perfume that had a more realistic honey note in it than this one does. It's honeycomb in the opening, and that's exactly what I get. I get this like realistic honeycomb right off the bat. It's almost like I walked up to a beehive and just stuck my hand in there and like took out the honeycomb and I'm smelling it. That's what I get when I first smell this, and it is really good, but you do have to absolutely be a fan of honey, which I am. Now, as this perfume starts to dry down, you get more than just honey, but that is definitely the first thing I get. I get some cinnamon, I get a little bit of cloves, you know, there's some spices in here, and then there's definitely some nutty notes in here. I think there's like hazelnut, maybe some walnut, maybe some almonds. I get kind of like a nuttiness from the perfume, which I really like, and this is a sweet perfume, but honestly, I really appreciate that they put that in here, like those nutty notes, because to me that takes the sweetness down just a tiny bit. But this is supposed to smell like realistic baklava. And the baklava that I've had in the past is baklava with pistachio. I haven't had baklava that's like this, but this does smell very much like foodie, nutty, honey, delicious type of dessert, like a honey dessert. There's also a lot of vanilla in here, some tonka bean, definitely some praline, and it's very ambery, warm, and sweet, and yeah, you just have to really be into honey, and I really truly loved this. Off of the sample, just this little sample, I just sprayed it on the back of my hand and like down my arm when I tested it out, and I could smell it. I had other fragrances on and I could smell this fragrance wafting up and like drowning out all the other fragrances that I was testing, so I'm guessing that this is a really good performing fragrance. But yeah, I do want this. I think this is absolutely delicious. It's very gourmand and you absolutely have to be into honey. But if you love that, you're going to love this because it is delicious. So yes, this is a yes for me. I do want a full bottle of Arum for sure. All right, up next we have by the house of Byron. This is Mula Double Caramel. This one, you guys, I was just losing my mind wanting to smell this because I love caramel. And this perfume actually surprised me. This doesn't have nearly the amount of thick, dense, like I thought it was going to be dripping with caramel. You know what I mean? Double caramel. I thought it was just going to be absolutely dripping with it. It's there. There's definitely caramel, but this does smell a lot to me like the OG Mula. The only real difference that I get from this, somehow this smells fresher to me. and it smells like the oud is just a little bit more toned down than in the original, and then there's a little bit more caramel, I guess, in here. I don't know. The caramel is just not as strong and thick and dense as I thought it was going to be. This smells very much like Mula Mula to me. Now, I love Mula Mula, and I think this smells good. Don't get me wrong, it smells good. But the reason why I don't have the OG Mula Mula in my collection is because I found it to be very, very similar to La Capitale by Zaharoff, and I actually slightly prefer La Capitale. They're not exactly the same. I'm not saying they're dupes for each other. I know there's differences, but at one point, I feel like I don't need the same type of perfume over and over. Like, you know, it can get a little bit redundant, and I just felt like Mula Mula would be redundant in my collection. This one is really nice. It smells really good, but I don't think I need this one. If I found it one day at a discount, maybe I'd think about bringing it in, but as of right now, I like it, but I don't absolutely love it, and all I want to do is bring in like full-on loves into my collection. So I'm going to pass on Double Caramel, but I'm really, really glad that I got to try it. Okay, this next one I thought for sure was a shoo-in for me. I almost blind bought this because I was 100% convinced that this would be a 100% yes. I love gourmand fragrances. This has chocolate chip cookie dough as one of the notes, some hazelnut spread. I mean, it was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna love this. This is the new one by Jousset Parfums, and this is Le Gourmand. And you guys, I'm so glad I did not blind buy this. I do not like this fragrance at all. Listen, I'm a gourmand lover. I love gourmand fragrances, but this is too much. I mean, this is like chocolate rich. It is so overly gourmand to me that it's unwearable, in my opinion. Now, keep in mind, I struggle with chocolate notes. If it's just chocolate upon chocolate upon chocolate, I can't do it. This smells like you took chocolate chip cookie dough and then rolled it in a bunch of Nutella and then just shoved it up your nose, and you're just like smelling it strongly all day long. There's nothing to offset it. So in the opening you have, I think it's like butter, salt, and like toast, which I kind of picked that up. And then there is a lot of like chocolate chip cookie dough, and then there's hazelnut and hazelnut like spread like Nutella. And it just feels like richness upon sweetness upon chocolate upon chocolate. Yeah, it's too much for me. It's too gourmand for me. There's nothing to offset the sweetness. It's sickening sweet to my nose, and surprisingly, this is a very hard pass for me. I really am so thankful I did not blind buy this one, because I would have been really disappointed, and it's just not for me. Now, if you are a gourmand lover and you adore really sweet chocolatey fragrances and hazelnut, you know, chocolate chip cookie dough dipped in Nutella sounds good to you, and you want to smell like that, you might like this. You know what I mean? This is going to be for you, but too much for me. So this is a no, and I will be passing on Le Gourmand by Jousset Parfums. The next one I pretty much knew I wasn't going to like, but I wanted to check it out for myself because it's the exact same situation. But this perfume does what it says it's going to do, and so therefore, if this is your thing, you might really like this, but it's not for me. This is from the house Theodoros Kalotinis, and this is Velvet Chocolate. So, like I said, it does exactly what it says it's going to do. It smells like velvety chocolate. To me, this smells like very rich, decadent, sweet, velvety chocolate cake. But it's too much. It smells like you took rich chocolate cake, and then you put chocolate frosting with chocolate sprinkles and chocolate chips and chocolate syrup. You know what I mean? It's like so much chocolate. There's nothing balancing it out. It is just over the top to my nose. Let me spray this again to refresh my memory. I did wear these on skin, even though when I sprayed them on paper I was like, oh, but I did put them on skin just to see, especially the Le Gourmand one, because I thought, oh, on my skin maybe it'll be better, but it was not. Yeah, this is so much chocolate. I don't like desserts like this. When I used to eat desserts, I couldn't eat death by chocolate cake. That's what this smells like to me. It smells like that death by chocolate cake. But if you are a chocolate lover, you know, you might really love this. No, that's not for me. Not for me. Okay, guys, this is turning into a negative video. I'm not really liking any of these. The only one that I absolutely love is French Defense, and I do really love Happy Dust, but I need the performance to get better. And like I said, I'll keep you updated on that. But all the rest of these are like passes for me, and I wasn't expecting that, but I have to be honest with you guys and tell you guys how I actually feel. I guess that's good for my wallet, right? Another one by Theodoros Kalotinis is Caramel Oud. This fragrance, I wasn't sure. Obviously, I wasn't going to blind buy this because I am not a big fan of oud. However, I find this to be a very interesting fragrance. This one, if it stayed the way that it is when I first spray it, I would get a bottle of it. I would like it. Yeah, when I first spray this, I love that combo of the caramel and the oud together because this is thick, dense caramel for sure. But then mixed with that oud, it really does help to offset the caramel, so the caramel's not so sweet. But the caramel offsets the, I don't know, like that barnyardy feel of oud sometimes that I get, and makes the oud more wearable. Like it's a magical combination. It really is. I really find it a very interesting combination because they both like mellow each other out, and I really like it. I like how this is a gourmand, but it's not a full-on gourmand. I think without the oud, the caramel would be a little too much in here. But yeah, I really do like this one. The only issue is when I wear it on my skin, that caramel does start to really tone down and the oud gets really loud. By the time this dries down, it's mostly an oud fragrance on me, which is something that happens often, sometimes why I can really struggle with oud because oud is very prominent on my skin. The balance in the beginning is perfect, but then as I start to wear it, the oud definitely gets louder than the caramel, and then I end up not liking it. I think this is one worth checking out though. I can see why people like this one, and I can see the hype behind this one for sure. So I think if you're interested in this one, get a sample for sure, check it out, but I'm gonna end up passing on it because I just don't like the dry down. Still a really interesting and good fragrance in my opinion. Really, really good performance. I could smell this on me just from the sample, so I don't think there's going to be any issues there. Okay, I promise you guys, I'm not just like in a bad mood poo-pooing all of these fragrances. They just didn't work out for me, and this one has got to be the one that I was the most crushed by. I was so disappointed when I got this sample because I was convinced I was going to love this. As a matter of fact, I thought this might be my new angel share. This is by Sora, Dora, and this is Jany. I've heard lots and lots and lots about this. You guys know this is a pass for me. This is not at all what I thought it was going to be. It is a gourmand. It is a gourmand fragrance. And it does have that baked apple feel, but there is puff pastry in here. That's one of the notes listed as puff pastry. And I get that. I get like a doughy feel to this fragrance. I definitely get that warm, spicy feel, baked apple, but then that puffed pastry is so prominent that it starts to overtake the fragrance, and it feels like it's a lot of dough. It's very doughy to my nose. And sometimes when I smell it, like when I put it on my skin, that aspect of the perfume kind of started to go in and out in my brain. This smells like a candle. I kept thinking like, this smells like a candle. It doesn't smell like a perfume. It smells like baking apple dessert with too much dough mixed in with a candle. Anyway, I don't know, that's probably not a very good description, but that's the image that I got in my mind, and when I wore it, I was like, no, this is not it. This is not it for me. I don't love this, and I thought for sure I was going to. This is usually the type of perfume that I adore. I'm so disappointed. I thought I was absolutely gonna love it, but no. I don't. I definitely want to hear from you on that. Have you tried Jany? What do you think? It just doesn't work for me, but that's okay. Again, my wallet is relieved. Actually, that's probably a really good thing because I have to buy French Defense, and that's going to take up like all the money I have for January's budget, I guess. No, I'm going to wait and get French Defense for my birthday, if I have enough willpower to make it until then. That's not until April, so we'll see. Oh wait, I also forgot, AURUM was a success too. I am getting a bottle of that. So out of all the ones that I tried, French Defense, I want a full bottle, and AURUM, I want a full bottle. That's it. The verdict's still out on Happy Dust. I love the way it smells, but I definitely want this to get stronger, so I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted on this one as time goes on if it does actually get stronger. I really do think that it will, but like I said, I have no way to guarantee that. All the rest of them were passes. That's just how it goes sometimes. That's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. If you liked this video and you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to leave me your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think of these fragrances. Have you tried them, and what is your experience with these fragrances? I love to hear from you guys. Thank you again for watching. I hope everybody is having a fantastic day, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye!